Now, maybe you guys can relate to this, but I remember going to the Bose store years ago when they had first dropped the Quiet Comfort 15s, and they blew me away with amazing sound quality and noise cancellation. They sounded like what the pinnacle of what a headphone could be. The fact that I'm mentioning it to you now speaks to just how much of an emotional impact it left on me. Since then, Bose has had its ups and downs, namely since its competitor, Sony, came out with their own world-class noise cancellation headphones that featured better sound and now better noise cancellation. I went from seeing everybody on my flights with Bose to 90% Sony lately. Bose finally realized they had a problem, and they've been releasing some decent products here and there, like the Quiet Comfort 45s, the 700s, but nothing too earth-shattering and nothing that would make people actually switch back from Sony. Well, Bose finally woke up with the Quiet Comfort Ultras, so today we're going to see if this is a return to form for Bose or another mediocre headphone drop. They managed to keep the same Bose look while making it look a little more modern. They previously went with a super minimal look with the Bose 700s. Although those look really sleek with the adjustment band, the bands would have a mind of their own when you would start to move around a bit. The Ultras strike a nice middle ground with smooth adjustments that will stay in place once in position. Like here, you can see, nice, smooth, but it does have some tension to it, and it's not loud or clunky. It's a very nice adjustment. I would lay down with them and they never felt like they got too tight or too loose. They would definitely keep their shape. These, however, do fold inward, so if you're laying down, sometimes they can tend to like flip out of position, which can be a little annoying. It's a gift and a curse. I hope in the future that they can implement some kind of like locking mechanism so that this just doesn't move while it's on your head. These are nice and lightweight, which of course makes these great for travel. The black color shows a ton of fingerprints, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd probably get the white or the sand exclusive from their website. On the right ear cup, you're gonna find the little control button where you can control what mode you're in. You can also control the Bluetooth as well as the power button. And then they have a nice touch slider on the right side. There's a little line here. It works, but it can be a little jumpy and not fine-tuned like the Sony's touch control. I find that sometimes it goes from 50 to 100 or 50 to 75. There's no real consistency with the touch control, but it is there, and I am happy to see that they are trying to put some kind of touch controls on their headphones, but it could definitely use some improvement. For charging, it uses a USB-C port. They include one in the box, as well as a 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and cable, which they have included as well. Great if you're on a plane and you want to watch movies while enjoying some noise cancellation. That's one area where the AirPod Maxes really fail for traveling, in my opinion. Now, the comfort is really good on the ear cups. They are on the smaller side, but the memory foam is nice and plush, and it creates a nice seal from the outside world to give you that nice immersive sound. I can listen to these for hours and not be fatigued. Now, the Sony's, the 1000X M5s, have gotten better, but I'd say these beat those in that department. The headband is comfortable, but I can't help but want more memory foam like what's in the ear cups here. It's a little on the stiffer side and it doesn't form to your head as much as I would like. Now, the sound on these is what really got me. Something that was missing on the previous old Bose headphones, I finally got it here, bringing me back to that first time I heard Bose headphones in the store. They are balanced, they prioritize richness and adding thickness to your music. It's not thin or hollow by any means. I prefer the sound of these over the 1000X M5s by far. These will have you sitting back and closing your eyes as the riffs, the drums, and the snares funnel into your ear canal. It's a beautiful experience. Thank you, Bose, for finally delivering something that we would come to expect from your company. You know, Bose carries that name. When you hear Bose, you think good sound, and we've just been getting okay sounds, so I'm happy to report that Bose is back. They're back with these. I've been broadening my horizons when it comes to music lately, and a few standouts for me were the new Hosier album, Cara Jackson, Drake for All the Dogs, Boy Genius. All of those sound phenomenal on these headphones. The bass tends to sit in the mid-range, but can sometimes dip into that lower end when it needs to show you something about the track. Vocals are nice and separated. It's as clear as day, as if you were in the booth with like Frank Ocean himself. The highs and the lows don't fight with the vocals, but instead they work together as they should to create art. The soundstage is quite small since these are a closed back noise cancellation headphone, so you're not gonna get that airy soundstage you'd get from like some studio headphones, but these do what they're supposed to do: create a fun, enjoyable music listening experience that you can wear around the house, commute, or travel with. And in terms of fun, I'd say these are even funner, is that a word? Funner, than the Beats headphones that I just reviewed. You also get that stereo action where sound will travel from one ear cup to another, and it just is very beautiful. They also have this custom technology where they play a sound, it goes to your ear canal, and then it kind of, forms the music to how your ear is. All this stuff is usually, I think, is pretty gimmicky to me, and it might work, might not work. I don't really see a huge difference in the way they sound. Better than not having it, I guess. These Bose Ultras are standing on business when it comes to sound. I am impressed. All right, now we are going on to the microphone. So I'm gonna drop a test of the microphone so you can hear what it sounds like. So let's check it out. All right, so right now you're listening to the microphones on the Bose Ultras. What do you guys think? Do you think that they are viable for important calls, conference calls, business calls, or calls with your friends? Let me know what tier you guys think down in the comments below. Now, what I find is that the clarity that you get from the voices and music transfers over to when you're talking to people on the phone. Voices are super clear. As for the noise cancellation, there are 3 different modes. There's the ambient mode, which lets in outside noise, a quiet mode, which has the most amount of noise cancellation, but all the other settings are set off. Then there's the immersion setting, which has the strongest noise cancellation set to the max, but it also has that spatial awareness. I find that this is like any other like fake special awareness software, hardware, where it bloats your music, makes it sound hollow and uninteresting. I would just stay off of it and stick with the quiet mode. And also that immersion mode changes the battery life from 24 to 18, so you're losing 6 hours of battery life. Not really worth it. And they also have this nice wind block on and off mode for you runners out there that can significantly cut down the wind whizzing past your ears as you're running. That's actually pretty cool, and I haven't seen that in another headphone. The noise cancellation, however, is phenomenal. It does a great job of blocking out hums. I did a simulation where I turned up plane noise on my speakers since I don't have any trips planned to check these out before the review comes out. So it does a good job of blocking out plane noise. I let my TV run in the background and I couldn't hear a single word. And obviously that's gonna pay off big time when you're traveling. Now the Ultras do a great job, but Sony to me still has Bose beat with the active noise cancellation. It just feels smarter and more reactive to blocking out and adjusting to noise and unwanted noise. Whereas Bose, it's gradual. It just feels like a nice buttery smooth, like, oh, there's noise. Let's start to get used to it and get rid of it overall. Whereas Sony's just like, I hear something, I need to start getting rid of that sound. That makes sense? I think that makes sense. But don't get me wrong, Bose is damn good, and I think it will satisfy like 90 to probably 100% of people. Like if Sony's an A, I'd give these a B+ when it comes to noise cancellation. They are both really good and ahead of the competition in that area. You can pair 2 devices and switch between them seamlessly. I know a lot of you guys always ask me about that, and it's super important to you. For me personally, I'm always swapping between my MacBook and my iPhone. So now the battery life could have been better. It's clocking at 24 hours, which will get you a full day of listening and through your flight. But I just wish in this case they could have put a nail in Sony's coffin by changing it and putting it up to like 30 hours just to have, these are called the Ultra. I want top of the line everything. I want this to beat Sony. This would have been the perfect time for them to do that here. And again, with that immersion mode, you're going to be losing 6 hours, so it puts that at 18 hours. So like I said, I wouldn't even use that. But it seems like a missed opportunity here to kind of go beyond Sony. In the app, they allow you to adjust the EQ. Otherwise, the headphone will try to automatically adjust to whatever you're listening to, which is why I think these just sound so good and probably what I would leave it at. I've been more than happy with the default. And once you do the EQing, it takes the ability of the headphone to adjust to whatever music you're listening to. And that just seems like a pain to keep going in and changing the EQ based off of what song you're listening to. Also, you'll be able to add a bunch of different presets for the noise cancellation or the music. They slowly have been improving the Bose. Also, you'll be able to add different modes to the noise cancellation, which is nice. They've been slowly improving this Bose music app, and I think they give you a good amount of control while keeping it simplistic enough to not overwhelm you. Now, in conclusion, Bose is on their redemption arc with the Ultra headphones, which sees itself beating, in my opinion, Sony and almost catching up in noise cancellation, which in many cases might be negligible for most of you guys out there. $430 is a steep price for these, but I have no problem recommending these, and I think these will be a hit throughout the holiday season and beyond. And for me, if I'm going to be traveling, I'm going to be using these over the Sonys until, Sony sees this and one-ups Bose again. And as they go back and forth against each other, we're just gonna get better and better products like this, the Ultra. All right, so that's gonna do it for this review of the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra headphones. I hope you have enjoyed it. It has been your boy BT saying peace.